I've never been one of those people that's like, you've got to grind so hard that you can't sleep. Like, nah, fam, I need my sleep.
Yo, bro. Welcome to the Bonus Footage Podcast. I am your host, Boyder. This is the show where I get the stories of the storytellers. Today is no different. I talked to KZ, a music artist out of Atlanta, Georgia, who's worked with some of the biggest personalities and influencers of our day, including Casey Neistat, Karlie Kloss, Sean Doris, Tanner Fox, Will Dasovich, to name a few. KZ is a good dude. He's really connecting and getting his story out there with using his content and his music. And I said, hey, I want to talk to that guy because I want to know some of his tips and tricks on how to get discovered as a content creator. So that's what I did. And in this episode, we talk about the art of his start, how to become a professional DM slider, and finally how to capitalize when other YouTubers do use your content, and his nifty little trick to do that. So without talking your voice off too long here, I said that wrong, without talking your ear off too long, I'd like to introduce our guest today, KZ. We're here with KZ, or is it Keith? What should I say?
So typically, my real name is Keith Zadig, but honestly, like KZ, what I go by for my music, is kind of what everybody calls me. So, whenever somebody sees me, they're like, what's good, KZ? So I just roll with it.
KZ is on the line, and we're going to chat it up. I'm super excited. Very, very positive dude. Gives off a lot of good energy with his content, whether it's his music, his vlogs, his any one of his channels. And KZ, we're thankful to have you today. How you doing?
Hey, man, blessed to be out here. Shouts out to the homie Tom. We doing this, man.
So you're in Atlanta, correct?
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Okay, cool. My favorite thing about what you're doing is the good vibes that you're putting into the world. And you do have some names that have backed your music, including Casey Neistat, Karlie Kloss. Name a couple more.
Yeah, so I've worked with Casey Neistat, Karlie Kloss, also the homie Nadeshot. He makes a lot of Call of Duty videos.
Yeah.
Sean Doris, Tanner Fox. So a lot of YouTubers out there that I've been able to get plugged in with. Also, shouts out to Kaiso Mar. He uses my music almost like every week. I just linked up with him in LA about 3 weeks ago.
That's so rad. And I like all that. I love that. I think it's great to say. But there was a specific line that I heard when I was listening to your tunes, and I was like, I gotta talk to this guy. I want to. So I've been asking you to interview. We just haven't matched up. But it was, you rhymed it with futon. You said something. We got nobody to prove wrong.
Yeah.
Is that the line?
There was something, I think it might have been my Life's Good song, like waking up from a nap on my futon.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, and the futon's actually right behind me, so.
So it's real life, but with, I mean, I like rap music a lot, right?
Yeah.
But more and more often, I've been leaving rap music, like after I listen to it, I'm like, that doesn't make me feel good about life. That all that person told me was how much better they were than me, how much more money they had. And this kid's message is, hey, we got nobody to prove wrong. Where like most music today is very combative, like I'm coming for your neck. It's like, hey,
exactly.
like I got nothing to prove. Like this is just me, baby.
Yeah, and that's exactly like where I stand and who I am as a real person. I feel like as an artist, like I am the artist. I'm not trying to go through different, types of people. Like I am one person. And so being able to share that with everybody and my experiences and whoever listens, letting them know, like, I mean, you don't need a huge studio to do, what you want to do. Like you can be in your small apartment. That's where I'm at. And I just want everybody to know that we all have an opportunity to do something great in life. So.
Now, do you identify more with being a writer or a producer, or a little bit of both?
I would definitely say I would be identified as both. A lot of people that when they find me, they either hear like my beats or my instrumentals, but I think as I'm growing as an artist, I'm becoming this person who creates music with my brother, Scotty Z, and we literally just like people will find my beats, but then they'll find my lyrics, and then it's like it's kind of half and half. But I think a lot more people now are gravitating towards my actual lyrics, but we produce the beats and then put the lyrics on.
Yeah.
So,
and your lyrics. I have to say, there's a couple that I'll hear, and I'll be like, no one else would have said that. And I always like that when I hear that in an artist. Like even just, I think there was one about like a girl like how you get happy when you see she views your Snapchats, and like, but everyone can relate to it at the same time though.
Right. And I think it's kind of what I was just saying before, how not like changing who you are like on the microphone, but actually like recording and writing about what you feel. Like literally, like I utilize Snapchat as like my biggest means of communication, and so being able to just be myself. I know it sounds so cliche, but I think that's how people win in life. It might take you longer, but you'll be happier like just doing what you want to do and not listening to everybody around you.
Yeah, and then you're not trying to fight something. I see very often with artists that they'll blow up under this image that like they made to blow up, and now the whole rest of their career, once they realize like, hey, I want to be me, they're fighting against that image. And if you come out the gate with who you are, it gets easier as it goes, not harder.
No, for sure. And I tell people this all the time, like, I'm out here for longevity, man. I even said it in one of my songs. I'm like, if it takes me 10 years, that's cool. I'm just having fun. Because that's the truth, man. Like, when you have a passion or your hobby, how did it start? You loved it. It was fun. And for me with music, it's my outlet, and I don't ever want it to be like too business savvy. Like I want to be independent and run this myself, and that's what we're doing right now. So
who do you work with? What's your little team look like right now?
Honestly, it's very small, man, and that's just because me and my brother. It's my real brother, Scotty Z, biological brother. He's about 2 years older than me, and I just turned 24. So
happy birthday!
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was cool. But that's like my best friend, and we mesh really well together, and it's just me and him, honestly.
What are his strengths? What are his strengths that you don't have?
Yeah, for sure. My brother is killer on the piano, man, and he's very like instrument and like rhythm and like theory talented, in the sense of he can read notes and like basically with the synths. He's really great with synth ideas. So a lot of the times, with the Spotify age, there's a lot of music out there with synths, and I'll be able to get like, because I listen to a lot of like hip hop and a lot of like also synthy stuff, and I'll get all the feels out. But my brother, amazing at mastering everything that you hear with my music. Scotty Z has made sure it sounds great for y'all. So
who was the first sort of bigger personality that used your music, and how did you feel when you saw that happening?
Yeah, so about a year ago, it's been about a year now that I started making beats. Like me and my brother, we've always loved music, but we were never really like serious about producing. Like I would just rap over other people's beats. And so my brother and I started making beats, and at the time, this was when like Casey Neistat was vlogging a lot, and I remember I was a year out of college, and I'm like, I don't I'm living, but I want to do more. So I started making beats, and I remember there was one night about a year ago, and I was at the dinner table with my parents, just saying it was good, and I'm like, my mom loves Casey Neistat. I was like, yo mom, I feel like I want to send Casey some of these beats. And I only had like 100 SoundCloud followers. This was like a year ago. And, my mom was like, go do it. And my dad was also like, yeah, you should do it. But he probably gets a lot of emails. And I'm like, my dad was still like, yo, you should do it.
Yeah.
So that night, I was like, cooked up 3 beats that I had already made with Scotty Z. And I sent Casey an email. I honestly didn't think anything was going to happen. And I woke up the next day. He emailed me back. He's like, yo, man, I just used all of them. And I was like, this is dope. And then so obviously with a content creator that has the platform that someone like Casey has, a lot of people are going to come to your channel. But here's the thing, when you have a wave or you get a spike of a wave, like that wave can die down if you don't constantly push content out. So I told my brother, I'm like, hey man, this wave is going to go down if we don't like put more music out. And I'm like, so we got to put stuff out. every other week or every 2 weeks, whatever we can do, and we that's what we've done ever since. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
I got a couple questions. Your
Yeah.
mom follows Casey Neistat.
Yeah, she does.
So your mom's with it.
My mom's with it. She's the one that would be texting me saying, "Oh, Casey used your beats." I actually I talked to Casey last week. I sent him some new too. So he's the homie.
Do you know all of the people that have used it, or is there a lot out there that you have no idea right now?
Yeah, so once Casey did use my music, there was definitely a spike, but I really, for my music that I have, I'll go to a coffee shop by myself and I'll email like 5 YouTubers. I was emailing like 5 YouTubers a night for like almost a month straight.
I love that so much.
I was just like, yes, there's one person, but like, Casey's not going to create my entire career. Like, I got to put myself out there too. But like you said, I did notice that after that happened, other content creators, came across, but something that I do every single night, usually before I go to bed, is I'll go on YouTube and I'll type music by KZ Chill Mode today. And then in order for me to build off of that, I'll comment, and then I'll scroll all the way to the bottom of some of these big content creators, kind of like Nadeshot. I'll Command F and I'll type the word song. And there will be like 100-something comments of people that don't read the description. They'll be like, "What song is this?" And then I respond. I respond to everybody, fam. And that's what I found.
Break that down. I got a little lost there.
So like, let's say there's a YouTuber out there that uses one of my songs that has a large platform, and they use one of my songs with lyrics. A lot of viewers will go to the description or like the comment section, and they'll be like, "What song is that?"
Yeah.
Because sometimes not everybody reads the description.
Yes.
So I'll go on my YouTube, I'll Command F, search for the word song, and there will be like 50 to 100 people who ask that question. So I'll be cooking up dinner, and I'll just be like, I'll copy and paste like "Nobody" by KZ or like by KZ. And I don't think a lot of people are doing that. Like a lot of artists, these people are using their music, but you got to capitalize on these.
You have to keep the conversation going.
Yeah. So that's where I found, what has been working for me.
Now, do you follow any kind of like social media content leaders out there to learn these tricks? Or is this instinct or a little bit of both?
I don't follow any like leaders out there, man.
No?
This is all I actually, I do have a day job too.
Yeah.
And I work in marketing. So I'm, my day job, which I don't want to call it a day job because I love it, man. I love the people I work with, like their family, and I work in a marketing department, so I'm seeing what works in business, and like that's what I'm applying to my music.
I bet your experience in music is helping the quote unquote day job and vice versa. They're both intertwining. It's
like creative synergy, man.
Yeah.
It's like, had a long day at work, well, I got music to go to, or vice versa. It'll inspire me both ways for sure.
It's funny. I kind of take. I love your attitude on the idea of a day job because I'm carrying one myself.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, and like I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, it's funny. Like I want to keep doing the podcast because that's like my weekend to me. Like most people like look forward to the weekend and want to go out and party and like go crazy, have some chaos in their life. My extracurriculars are like my passion projects,
Exactly.
interviewing people.
Well, I tell people this all the time, I like for what I'm doing, like I run a clothing line too, and like out of this little apartment on top of the music, and like I could potentially live off of this, but I don't think I would be as happy because like we're as humans, man, like we got to communicate with other humans. Like I don't want to be in this room by myself for like 8 hours a day, I mean, if there's opportunities down the road where I can be like, yo, like let's do an East Coast tour, which I am a firm believer will happen. People at my work are chill with that. Like, but good. Like I said, I've kind of built a family at my job that like, the music is not something that they're like, oh, that's what he does. They're like, yo, how can we like support you? You know what I'm saying?
That's neat.
So it's family.
And the one thing that the job is also doing right now is it's giving you the comfort to not have to think in terms of this music needs to make money right now. You know, you can think longevity and then make the music you want to make, so when that thing does catch on, everyone follows your library that's out there. You're in a good place.
Right. And I heard the word library, and that just got me thinking. And, you know, it's so true, like, as an artist and any artist out there that's listening, it's like you don't ever want to focus on, like, the one song that you think is going to blow you up, because it's like you want to be doing things because you love it. But here's the thing. When people discover your music and you have already built a library and you're adding to that library, content is king. They always say that, man. So people, when they find music and you have a library, that gives the people what they want, you know?
Yeah. And for example, when I found your music, I didn't say, like, oh, I'm just going to wait for him to put out new stuff. As soon as I found your music, I went all the way to the beginning, started playing everything, and finding the ones that I liked, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how it works. Like, so you never know when someone's going to, like Casey Neistat's going to slide in your DMs or vice versa. And, like, Casey's an absolute superstar. You know, like,
right.
He's at superstar level, and you're making these tunes in your bedroom apartment. You know, like, that's such a cool story in itself.
Absolutely, man. And I think a lot of times there's, like, the feeling of, oh, should I be in a fancy studio, or should I be doing this and that? And the answer is no. I think being around good people and, like, friends that, like, support you, and you're like, yo, this is what I'm doing, like, that's just gonna inspire you to do more. And having a brother like I do, like Scotty Z, who believes in this as much as I do. Like, my brother works a day job too. Like, he's an environmental engineer. Like, he's very intelligent. He went to Georgia Tech. Like, but music is what brings us together. And I think the more that you could be, like, having that in common with somebody, that's how you're gonna, fulfill those parts of your life.
Do you read it all?
I do. I actually live really close to a library. I got a library card, fam.
Heck yeah. What's in your backpack right now?
So I've got a couple books that I just finished reading, but I'm trying to think of one that would, there's a book called The Art of the Start, and just talks about basically, like, getting started. And there's basically a process of starting from the bottom, as Drake would say.
Yes.
Like, you just gotta love the journey. And I've never been one of those people that's like, you've gotta grind so hard that you can't sleep. Like, nah, fam, I need my sleep.
Yo, bro, I'm totally with you. Like, that's something I like an afternoon nap.
Yeah, dude.
How have you applied the Art of the Start to your music? Is there anything you can identify?
Well, just backing up a little bit about the whole reading situation, I ride the train to work every single day. So I roughly have a train ride that's like 45 minutes long. And
are you on that MARTA?
Yeah, MARTA Matthew. If y'all do the snaps, I already know. But yeah, so it's a lot of time to think, a lot of time to listen to music, or a lot of time to educate. So I choose to educate. And so I would definitely say, from that book in particular, and just starting things in general, it's that you can't look at other people's successes, or you can't look at what other people have and be so hard on yourself. I mean, there was a part of my life where I was just really, like, looking at successful people, and I was like, man, like, I don't have this right now. But then I had to back up a few steps and be like, you know what, like, things will happen over time. And it's the consistency. It's the drive. It's interacting with the people that listen to your music, or just having a good outlook, and that's, like, what's working for me right now.
I love to hear that. So that 45-minute, you're getting your own curriculum,
exactly.
To and from work each day.
Yeah, and I graduated college about almost 2 years ago now.
From where?
I graduated from Kennesaw State University.
Okay, great. So
I got my major was Communication Media Studies, and I got a minor in Spanish.
Nice. Yeah. I like the start. What was the Art of the Start?
Art of the Start, yeah.
Yeah, I like that whole that message, and I want to dig into that a little deeper.
For sure.
Yeah. What's one thing that has kind of that you've applied to to your music?
Yeah, man. Something I can definitely say that I've applied with my music is just, you know, us being humans. Like every part of us and everything that we do makes us unique. And when you start something new, it's very easy to see what's already been done. And very, the more you pay attention, kind of what I was saying before, to the other folks, it's gonna not make you feel like your own. Going back to the Snapchat thing, like
Yeah.
mentioned Snapchat, like that's a huge part of my life. So digging deep to who you are, that's very important.
I notice that a lot. You look at someone and you say all you see is the success. So
Right.
someone could make 1,000 videos, right? Someone makes one video that's 50 seconds long, right? But
Yeah.
that was edited down from 4 hours of footage, like all this equipment, all this rental, working with all these people. That you see this one little moment that goes viral. You don't see all of the trudgery, the
Yeah.
the schlepping, the going, like just the battling to get to
Yeah.
that success. And so then we compare ourselves to that moment and forget they had to start somewhere.
Exactly. And for everyone that's like listening right now, just start today, fam. Like things are gonna not go your way. I remember when I was starting to put music out there, and like I remember I would be getting like 20 plays a week, and it was hard, man. Like because when you make it in your room, or you're rapping or like singing this and that, and you can be hard on yourself. But I've always been that kind of person where I'm like, well, you gotta have these moments of like hard times, and they weren't really that hard times. It was just like you got to believe in yourself more than believe in yourself before you expect people to.
Has it been cool that your parents support what you're doing?
Absolutely, man. Like my mom and dad have always been by my side, and they're always like saying like it's wavy or amen, or like
So they're with it, they get it.
my mom be like, hey yo, what's good, LaCroix Larry?
Hey, check it out.
I see you, man. Is that the grapefruit dog, or what is that?
Yeah, I actually don't like. So if this is audio, so I'm gonna explain it to people. I got a cran raspberry sparkling water LaCroix.
Yum.
LaCroix Larry over here.
Yeah, dude.
It's not my favorite. That's not my favorite flavor. What's your favorite?
Oh man, I gotta say, shouts out to the berry, dude.
The berry.
I love berry LaCroix, but I gotta tell you, at my office, we get LaCroix like every day, and
Oh, that's why you like it there.
yeah, that's where it all started, man. The
Yeah.
whole like LaCroix vibe. But I love some lime. So if anyone from LaCroix is listening right now, you should sponsor your boy.
Yeah. Let's work on that.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, is there a LaCroix song?
I think it's actually funny. My mom like sent me some LaCroix song the other day,
It's
and
probably
it was
corny.
like it was pretty explicit. I was like, yeah, I don't need to listen to this.
Oh
But
no, it's gotta feel good. It has to have the energy of
Yeah.
of a KZ chill mode.
no, I feel some energy with that. Maybe not a specific song, but just like some LaCroix vibes. Like my brother for my birthday, he got me a LaCroix dad hat.
What?
Yeah, dude. Like somebody on Etsy made it or something.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah, and then I ordered a LaCroix shirt like last week. Like I'm going ham on this, man.
Well, you eat healthy too.
Yeah, man. So I actually be cooking a lot.
Talk to me. What was for dinner?
Yeah, so every single Saturday or Sunday, that's when I typically do the meal prepping. Sometimes if I'm feeling lazy, it happens on a Monday. But I'm out here with the baked chicken, the rice, and the green beans. And shouts out to the strawberry smoothies, man. And if we're talking breakfast, though, I'm out here with the scrambled eggs, man, with a little bit of cheese.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I try to stay healthy, man.
Hey, man, keep that brain clear, man. It's not only about longevity; it's about feeling good during the longevity.
Yes, lots of water too, man. I'm always drinking water because, I gotta use the vocal cords to record.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you just feel better, man. It's that simple.
really do. You really do feel better, and I give or take. There's some times where you don't have access to like home cooked meals, so you gotta eat out. But I'm always like, I even cut sugar out of my coffee, man. No more sugar in the coffee.
I'm sugar free, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was hard. It was honestly hard. I used to get these wild Starbucks drinks, dude. Like, now I'm just like a grande iced coffee with like no sugar and then like a little bit of whipping cream because that doesn't have sugar in it.
Yeah. That's just a little bit of dairy in there.
Yeah.
Now you vlog as well.
Yeah, man. So, when I was about 11 years old, man, this was like before what YouTube is today. There's a lot of people on YouTube. So, when I was like 11 years old, and then basically when I got to high school, the age of 16, YouTube was my life. Like, all I did was make scooter videos, and then I started making like Justin Bieber parody videos, man. And basically, long story short, they popped off at my school. I was moving so fast, like as far as my channel goes and views and stuff, but like I wasn't feeling like myself. Like I was getting so much hate for it, and I literally had to like make a decision. I was like, all right, I might need to take some time away from the internet because like it was hard, man. Like when you're that young and you hit like a spike of success and you don't really know the kind of person you are or you want to be, that was really hard. So I chose to not ride that wave and just to like live a normal life. So
Wow.
yeah, and that's something that like I really didn't go through because I'm not gonna mention any names, but there are some YouTubers that have 2 to 5 million subscribers that I was like Skyping with like this, and they chose that lifestyle, and didn't go to college. So maybe some of them did, but like I see them now and I look at my life and I'm like, man, like low key I'm happy that I made that decision because I wouldn't have made the right choices, I feel like, personally, that I grew up with.
Did you just start to find yourself making videos that were like just for the views, like just for
like,
the reactions?
I think that if I kept going, that's what it was becoming. I definitely like started to think like that, and then my mind was telling me like I could just feel something was wrong. Like I just felt, and I think that I'm a pretty faithful person and whatnot. So I believe that when you feel signs of things, you gotta listen to those signs. But if you don't listen to those signs, they'll stop showing up. So I decided to listen. But moving forward to where we're at now, I feel like with the growth of my music and what I'm doing,
it's all making sense.
It's all making sense, dude. And I know what to do. I know who I am. So if things do grow, as I believe they will, I'm able to have, this sense of knowing who I am as a human being,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's so easy to get caught up in, I mean,
yeah.
I had a version of that myself.
Yeah.
Where I was just, I was writing a lot of songs and having fun with it, but I was like, I'm not proud of it. Like I don't feel good when I look at it again. Like I know I'm doing it because I know what I can say to get a reaction, and I'm doing it just for that. I'm not doing it because it's me. What camera do you use for your YouTube stuff?
So I have a Canon G7X, a little small kind of vlogging camera.
Yeah. But
then I also have a Sony A6 300. But here's the thing, man. Like lately, I've been making videos with my iPhone. Like I don't know what it is. Like I'm going to Chicago this weekend, and I'm gonna make videos with my iPhone.
Yo, the best camera is the one that is in your hand. And I'm a believer in the iPhone because it's not obtrusive. You whip that out, people don't change who they are because they're so used to that thing in your hand. But
exactly.
You whip out the other things, like people are like, oh, like they kind of change who they are and put a show on.
Yeah, and it's just like, when I'm out and about with the homies or like out doing things, like I don't necessarily want to have this big camera thing in my, camera contraption in my hand everywhere I go because I have tried it out and I just don't. Maybe there will be times where I do have it, but I just like it just doesn't feel right. Like for me personally, I like the phone, man.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. It's Like I'll see Casey in those videos, and like I'm like, yo, he is ruthless. Like he's out there with his big camera. He's going down the street. Oh man.
Well, I was actually in Santa Cruz, California. Shouts out to my boy Garrett Jenner. He's a daily vlogger, skateboard YouTuber. This is his life. Like he lives in Santa Cruz on the beach, and I kicked it with him because we met because he uses my music. Like I just DM'd him when I was out there, went to his crib, and you know we were talking, and he was saying like, you know, daily vlogging's hard, man. Like everybody looks at, you know, a lot of the YouTubers like, oh, that's an amazing job. And yes, there are highlights, and it's great, but it's like when you have a camera in your face every day, like you got to give respect to these YouTubers doing it because it is not easy.
Yo, it's a commitment. It's an absolute commitment.
So much of your life. I don't think I could do it, man.
Yeah. Like they have to, you know, some of them they're up at like 4 in the morning editing till like 9 a.m. And then as soon as like as that thing's uploading, they're filming for the next day already.
Yeah, it definitely takes a certain kind of person, but the thing is, it's like when you do it for so long and then you stop, your fan base is like, yo, what happened?
Yeah.
So it's like you have a commitment to these people, man.
They're so salty.
Yeah.
All right.
It's fun.
So let's do a couple rapid fire things, man. KZ, I appreciate the time here, man. I feel like we could probably talk for 4 hours.
Yeah, it's been awesome so far, dog.
Yeah. No. So are you fully on streaming services? You're like SoundCloud, Spotify.
Yeah. So you just search KZ on Spotify, you'll see me, and then SoundCloud as well.
If someone looks upon this interview and is like, man, I want a big YouTuber to find my music, what would you tell them? How would you advise them to get?
I would definitely say spend time working on your craft. You know, like don't over analyze or be a huge perfectionist, but really make the music that you like to make. And if you have, you know, some beats or a library, because YouTubers do like choices, you know, really take your music, send a nice email. Don't send over the top. Just be like, yo, what's up, homie? Love your videos. Like, obviously, if you watch their videos, and link them some of your stuff. And you know, there's going to be times where nobody responds, but then there's going to be times where you wake up and they use your music. So yeah.
How would you what does that email look like? Can you give me an example of, like, you know, actually emailing? What are those first 2 sentences?
Yeah. All right. So let's say I was sending it to you, Tom.
Yeah. So what would a professional DM slider say in this email?
Well, I go off of the personal, like how I am as a human. I would just be like, literally, I say, "Hey yo." I would say, "Hey yo, Tom!" Exclamation mark. I'll be like, "My name is KZ. I'm a producer, songwriter out in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, I've been, you know, following your videos and love what you're doing on the daily. I feel like my beats could be good for your videos." And then I basically send them. I'm like, yo, I made this beat last week, because people like to see, like, you know, oh man, he's actually just out here making music constantly, not just like, this is what I made 2 years ago.
Yes.
It's like, this is, and I also say I've attached an unreleased beat for you, because that's a lot of times what I do.
Ooh, a little exclusive.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, I like that. I like it. It makes them feel a little special.
For sure, man. It's marketing.
And it's also it's a need you're fulfilling. You know,
people need music. Yeah.
If these guys are pumping out content, you know, I mean, I've tried. I have a bunch of videos. I go to your music. Like that's how I found it. My girlfriend's used your stuff for her Instagram videos, and I told her I was interviewing. She was like, "Oh, I use that guy." I was like, "Yeah, I sent you his stuff." What are you talking about? Like, she thought she was like had something on me. I was like, no, that's my guy.
For sure, dude.
But there's a need there, right? And if people are putting out content this much, you know, they can't be buying tunes every single day. But but there's gonna be a time, right? That you're playing the law of averages here. Like, the more Casey uses your stuff, the more, you know. Right now, it's YouTube stuff, so it's more or less free, right? It's like,
for sure.
It's
yeah,
like
absolutely.
It's basically like in olden days when a mixtape would blow up and people would just put them out for free. Like, this is your mixtape shit. Excuse my language. But
You good.
but there's going to be a time when Casey's like, all right, I'm producing my feature-length movie, and he's going to remember you.
For sure. And it's like, it goes back to starting things out. You just got to do it because you love it. And once a wave comes your way, don't sleep on yourself. And that sounds pretty crazy, but it's true, man. Like, there's so many talented people out there in the world that play instruments or do this or that, but it takes a lot of time to really put yourself out there, and that's what I'm called to do. So
Do you make a song every day?
No, I don't make a song every day, but I really do like work on music almost every day. If I don't feel like making music, I'm at the skate park.
Now, what are the last 3 songs in your personal iPod? Or I said iPod. What are the last 3 songs that you've played on your iPhone?
So I definitely gotta pull up. I'm always listening to Spotify, but I gotta give a shout out to Chelsea Cutler. She just dropped a new song called "You Make Me." That's so dope. I also listen to the homie Healy. He's got a lot of great stuff. You should check out his song
Healy.
"Unwind." And then the third song I gotta put up. Oh man, that's a tough one. I'm like looking at my library. Shouts out to Petite Biscuit. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's straight instrumental, synthy stuff. Sunset Lover, dope song.
Who's your dream collaboration as an artist?
I would have to say I would love to get in the room with. Can I say multiple people, man?
Yo, yeah, baby. Yo, whatever.
Right.
Hey, man. You can do whatever you want.
Say I would love to make music with Healy, Chelsea Cutler, Jeremy Zucker, and Petite Biscuit. Like the vibes, the sense, the chill. Like, oh man, we would make some magic. So if y'all are listening, let's get it.
Beautiful. Yeah, you got to put that out there, man. It's gonna come back eventually.
I believe it'll happen one day, man. Like, we about good energy, man.
2 more, right? If there was a friend graduating college, high school, whatever, and he's a little confused about where he wants to take his craft, his energy, his strengths, what book would you give him? What book would you gift him?
I would give. Yeah. What book would I gift him?
Yeah, or her, him or her.
Or her. Yeah. I got you. I would definitely say go. I mean, I read a lot of the art books. So there's a book called The Art of Nonconformity, and so this book is actually it's about setting your own rules and like living the life that you want. And the key thing about it is not being too comfortable. So a lot of us, the blessed and people who work hard will get jobs. Like we'll get jobs that whether it's a 9 to 5 or something we enjoy, but then a lot of times we'll go home and then watch TV. So like this book, and I encourage people out there, if you do work a job or you're trying to get something done, don't be too comfortable. Like we got so much life to live,
Trust the uncertainty. Take on some new challenges.
Yes, it's so crucial, and I'll do great things.
Man, I love that message. Who's the author of that book? Do you remember?
The Art of Nonconformity. Yeah, it's Chris Gilbeau. I don't know.
Yeah. I heard him on a podcast. He spits hot fire.
Yo, he like travels the world, fam. Like he's just out here. He's like started selling like coffee or something in his apartment.
The last question. LaCroix, right? They reach out to you and they say, "Hey, we're starting our own version." You remember Snapple Facts?
Yes.
We're starting our own version of that, except they're not facts. It's just a message. We need KZ to put a message on each can that goes out to people for the next year. What's the message on every LaCroix?
Hey man, it's organic.
Nice, man.
That's it.
So where I love that. That's a perfect way to close. Where can we find you? Where can everybody go right now?
Instagram, Twitter, KZ Chill Mode, and Spotify. Just type a K and a Z.
Cool.
And that's it, man.
And
Snapchat. official KZ.
And you're consistent on all those platforms, right? You're all over them.
Every single day, man. You'll see something random. I just gave away a free hat today on Instagram, so.
Hell yeah. The conversation's nice too. It's not one of those consistents where you're like, come on, get off my news feed. You slide in perfectly with all of the and you know what? I'm gonna give you a little compliment as we go, and I'm grateful for this. For you and the content you put out in 2000 right now in the world. You go on timelines, and all we see is people mad at each other, people complaining, people criticizing. So that's why it's so refreshing to see the content that you're dropping.
One love, man. And something I got to add on that is just say, for those of you that are starting something in your life, if you can impact one person, you can impact thousands in a positive way. That's what I live by.
Amen.
Amen.
It's organic.
Amen. It's wavy.
Hey, thank you so much, brother. Have a beautiful day.
One love, man.
Welcome. Oh, no, not welcome. That was the Bonus Footage Podcast with KZ. Hit him up on Instagram, show him some love, and say thank you for his time. If you got anything, if you got a morsel of info that you can apply to your life, hit him up. It's KZ Chill Mode on Instagram. On SoundCloud, it's the same thing, KZ Chill Mode. Give him a little follow, use his music, and give him his credits if you can. And then, hey, if you want to reach out to me, you have any ideas, or you just want to give me some feedback on my interviewing skills and something that I can do better, or any ideas for future guests, let me know. tomboy2@gmail.com. And hey, have a beautiful day, and go do something that is going to make you proud in a year when you look back on it. All right. Bye-bye. Peace.